Hi sewing friends! If you want to know how I DIY'd this cutout knit top, keep watching! Hi sewing friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Polly and this is the Sewing Edit where we talk all about sewing and styling a handmade wardrobe. In today's video, I would like to talk you through how I created this lovely simple knit top with a cutout detail. If you have seen my pre-fall sewing plans, you probably have seen there that I was planning to do this cutout top. I was very particular on what I wanted. I've seen the cutout trend probably last year. It started to be noticed on the runway, and I was thinking, I was on the fence a little bit in the beginning of it, but very soon after I thought it's quite cool, and I was thinking I want to make something like something with a cutout, but I didn't know exactly what I was after. I really wanted a cutout which had a strategical placement. I looked at different runway shows, I looked at indie pattern designers, and I realized that I cannot find anything that I wanted, that this was in my head. And what it actually I knew as a vague idea in my head was that I wanted to have it somewhere placed around the shoulder, and also I wanted a turtleneck. I just love the turtleneck around fall time, so I was thinking, what can I create? And while I was researching, I stumbled upon a beautiful picture of Maya Musk. She is the mother of Elon Musk, and she is a lady of 73 or 74-year-old, and she had this absolutely gorgeous top with a cutout detail on it. And I just clearly knew at that moment this is what I wanted to recreate. So I looked out again for patterns and I didn't find anything I saw. So I thought, well, then I need to recreate it myself. And in today's video, I thought I will walk you through my process of how I created this, and rather talk about it than show you in details, because the process of sewing it, it's quite easy. It was really the thought process behind and testing some details on the top. So let me start with how I started creating this pattern. Was I used as a base my trusty staple pattern, which is the Alexi top. This is Alexi top. It's a simple knitted top with a turtleneck, long sleeve, Alexi top by Style Arc. I use it almost every year. I have lost count of how many times I have sewn this pattern, but I knew that it's something that fits me and I can work with. So I had my pattern pieces, which funnily enough are not cut on fold. That's the original pattern piece, the back side, and I also have the front side. So I was thinking, where shall I position my my cutout around the shoulder? What I was mindful of is my bra strap, and actually I do wear bra and like a tank top underneath this, and they're okay, yeah. And that part here doesn't slip really. I think it probably is from the quality of the knitted jersey that I will talk a little bit later about. But overall, I thought it's okay the way how it turned out. But I have to say that I did create two Muslins before I created the final version. So what I did in the beginning was I measured from probably 1 or 2 centimeters from the bottom of my neck. I measured the depth of the cutout, and the first cutout, I'll pop a picture of it. It was quite deep, and it was quite wide. So I immediately knew, well, I made it in this neat version. And the big question for how I'm going to sew it is what kind of finish I'm going to put on the cutout. I was after a very clean finish, I didn't want to really to have a very exposed stitching line, so I was thinking, what can I do? I spoke with some sewing friends about it who gave me their opinion. I also looked at some sewing patterns which had cutouts, and I looked at how they finished the cutout version. And the first cutout top that I created, that you saw a picture of, I just folded over the knit and I zigzag stitched it. Well, I wasn't very happy with it. First, because it didn't really give me the stability around the cutout version, but also, as you probably see here, there is a kind of a steep curve. So when I had to, well, I was in a hurry when I made it, but the first one, I will show you a close-up, oops, is you could see that at the very corner of the, can you see it? At the very corner of the curve, the fabric was slipping. So I wasn't very happy. Of course, this was a testing version, but I felt like I might have a problem with my proper fabric with it. So I thought that is not the particular finish that I'm after. So I decided to go to my local fabric shop and ask them what they would advise me on a clean finish for the cutout. And they suggested that I do a bias cut or fold over elastic, which I didn't like, because first of all, I couldn't find the exact color, and to me the fold over elastic was you can really see the finish, and I really wanted a clean, subtle finish. So what they suggested is a bias cut bias binding finish, which is basically concealed, and this is my second version of the top. Well, not the version, the actual final version of the top, but I did test it again, and I found it very bulky. So what I mean is, you can see on the front, you cannot see the bias cut, but you can really feel the bulkiness of the bias cut. I don't know if you can see it. So I wasn't very happy with this second version as well, and then I kept on thinking, what shall I do? And I finally decided that I will go and ask some more people. So I went to a Facebook group, I think, what is it called? The self-sewn wardrobe Facebook. I think it is part of the Sew Here podcast by, they're called Donahue, the mother and daughter duo that talk about sewing, and there I asked the question, how would you finish the cutout? How would you create a clean finish on this cutout? And their suggestion, I had a great variety of suggestions there, and one lady told me to use a very simple elastic. So I used a 6mm simple woven elastic, and what I did, I on the wrong side of the fabric, I zigzagged the elastic to the cutout edge, and I folded it over again on itself on the wrong side, and I top stitched it with a double needle, and you can see the finish. It's quite stable, and I'm quite happy with the result. I was incredibly surprised and very, very happy, and I thought I need to talk about this clean finish on knits, because I never knew that this is how you can stabilize knits with elastic. And because when I saw this first, initially when I saw this version of finish, I thought, well, that's going to create gathers, because you're sewing elastic under it, and then it will create a little bit of a bunching up, but that was not the case. And I'm glad that I asked that question in the Facebook group, the ladies who have experienced it, because they said no, it will not, because you don't need to stretch the elastic while you're sewing it to the wrong side of the fabric. So I did have a test trial on a little cutout, and I did it on this version now, and to be honest, I'm really happy with this result. Apparently I will put a link to a video that I was referred to. It was from Jolly Patterns. They will exactly show you the finish that I used to create this finish. The only difference is that I didn't zigzag stitch the top side of this cutout. I did it with a double needle, and the finish from inside, I will show you very quickly, is quite clean, if you see it. So I was again, I was very happy. I said I will link down below this video from the Jolly Patterns, because I think it's very useful video, and I think it's worthwhile for anyone who would like to recreate it or create their own version of a cutout. They can use this method, because I really believe this cutout has to be stabilized somehow, and you do it very nicely with this elastic finish. Just a few words on the cutout. Mine is about, from the shoulder seam edge, it's about 19 to 19.5 centimeters depth of the cutout, and about 8 to 8.5 centimeters width. I'm just going to show you what I did. I did play a lot with the cutout. As you can see, my first version, then I had to shorten it a little bit. It was too short. A few things to be mindful of is this corner here. Just make it a little bit wider, because you have to take into consideration that you have to add seam allowances here, and the space gets quite tiny over here. I'm happy with what I had here, but just be aware that if you decide to replicate this version, just be aware of this corner here, and also of this shoulder. If you one thing that I would probably do next time, I would like to recreate this in a black knit, is I would do the shoulder. It's a little bit further in, probably a centimeter in, and then widen the cutout here. On the back side, I didn't talk about the back side, but I didn't do a big cutout here, because I didn't feel the need. I wanted to put the accent here on the front, and the back side, I was mindful that it doesn't really expose my bra strap. And you can see the back. I also brought it. The back looks like that, the back cutout. So of course I trued the seams, and I made sure that they match, both of them, and this is the result. This top is made with a knit version of rib knit from Driesenstoffen. Driesenstoffen is one of the shops I was talking about in last week's video, where I buy my fabric online. So go and have a look there. But this is where I bought this beautiful high quality rib knit. It really has a good recovery, and it's a beautiful cream color. I'm very happy with it. And I have a few other rib knits from Driesenstoffen that I plan on possibly doing something similar with them, but they're in a very similar color. So maybe I'm thinking of a long knit dress, kind of a tight version with a cutout. But all in all, I thought it's not that difficult to sew a cutout top, but I think the things that people have to be aware of First of all, what kind of finish are you going to put on your cutout? In my opinion, cutouts have to be strategic, and you have to be comfortable with where you put them. I find this cutout very flattering to all kind of sizes and aged people. As I said, my inspiration comes from a 73-year-old lady who is incredible, how she wore this top. I also think that you should be very careful with the choice of your fabric when it comes to cutout tops, because you need some kind of a knit with very good recovery. That is quite important. Also, I think, to create a really good impact of the top, I think personally that to create it in a solid color is the best choice you can do. Maybe in a striking red color or subdued neutral is a different option, but I think it is better than having it with a lot of print, because it takes away a little bit from the cutout impact. All in all, I thought that would be more useful for you if I talk you through my DIY process of creating it. In terms of sewing, the rest of it is just a simple top that I followed. Well, I didn't need even instructions of this top, but yeah, it's a simple top that I will put some videos now for you to see how I style it and how I wear it. And I hope this is helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I would love to hear them. I'm down there to help you answer, to help you, guide you if you need any guidance based on my experience. And if you find this video helpful, I would love you to subscribe, and please share the channel with your friends. And I'll see you next week. Hope everybody is well. Bye.